January 31, 1968. Tet, Vietnamese New Year. 10,000 soldiers entered this city before dawn.
46 days of urban warfare, the most brutal battle in the entire Vietnam War.
More than 8,000 civilians died, and the Imperial City of Vietnam, with more than 143 years of history, nearly wiped from the map. This is what survived.
Huế wakes up differently to every other Vietnamese city I've been in. There's no motorbike chaos from 6 a.m. The river is quiet. People move slowly. There's a weight here. You feel it before you understand it.
Huế people have a saying, Huế doesn't hurry, Huế waits.
For what do they wait?
For people to slow down enough to see it.
In 2025, Huế was elevated to a centrally administered city, the same political tier as Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. For a city historically sidelined since the last emperor abdicated in 1945, this is a seismic shift. Huế is building its second empire. But to understand where it's going, you first have to understand what it was.
This is Hoang Dan, the Imperial Citadel. Construction began 1804 and lasted for over 31 years. 520 hectares. Walls 2.5 kilometers and 6 meters high. A moat 4 meters deep surrounding the whole complex. This was Vietnam's forbidden city, deliberately modeled on Beijing's Imperial Palace, built on Confucian principles and Feng Shui alignments.
The Nguyen dynasty had 13 emperors over 143 years. Each one ruled from inside these walls. The last one, Emperor Bao Dai, abdicated right here on August 25, 1945. He walked out of this gate and handed over power to Ho Chi Minh's new republic. 143 years of imperial rule ended in a single morning.
Behind those doors is where the emperors held court. Foreign dignitaries, military commanders, scholars all came here to kneel before the throne. Gia Long, Minh Mạng, Thiệu Trị, Tự Đức, Hiệp Hòa, Dục Đức, Đồng Khánh, Kiến Phúc, Hàm Nghi, Thành Thái, Khải Định, Duy Tân, Bảo Đại.
How does it feel for you standing here and reading the name of all your past emperors?
It's like history is real, not in a textbook. Real.
Real history around here.
It feels real.
UNESCO listed Huế as a World Heritage Site in 1993. Restoration work is ongoing. You can see it happening right now inside the walls. They're rebuilding what was lost, and what was lost is directly connected to that date I mentioned at the start of this video.
This line, right here, 1968. Soldiers attack, defenders hide. That's the boundary line here. Tet, Vietnamese New Year, normally ceasefire. 10,000 North Vietnamese soldiers enter Huế before dawn. Simultaneously, 85 cities were attacked, and it became known as the Big Tet Offensive.
The Battle of Huế lasted 26 days. US Marines and South Vietnamese forces fought house to house to retake the city. It became the longest and bloodiest single battle of the entire Vietnam War.
8,000 civilians were killed. Not only soldiers, civilians, people who lived here, people who had nothing to do with the war. My grandmother left during this battle. She never came back.
This battle changed the course of the war. America's confident. They had been told they will win the war. But as they saw the footage from Huế, they didn't believe anymore. The Tet Offensive didn't win militarily. But they changes the confidence in the Americas winning the war.
In 1993, UNESCO made it official. What survived in Huế is too important to lose. Today, the restoration work is happening around the clock, and the city, slowly, carefully, is coming back. The 7 imperial tombs are scattered across the countryside, south of Huế, along the Perfume river. Each emperor built his own during his own lifetime, not just as a burial place, but as a private retreat, a place to think, write poetry, escape the court.
This is the tomb of Emperor Tu Tuk. He's the 4th emperor of the Nguyen dynasty. He spent 16 years building it, more than 3,000 workers. He built a own pond, a pavilion for his poetry writing, and a own building for his concubines to perform for him.
He was also Vietnam's most prolific poet. Over 4,000 poems, many of them writing this pond sitting here.
That's for sure the most civilized way I've ever heard an emperor spending his afternoon.
Minh Mang's tomb is a 15-minute ride further south, and this one you need to see from the air. Minh Mang designed his own tomb, a perfect geometric layout you can only fully appreciate from above. Every gate, every lake, every pathway in exact symmetry. This is the same man who built the Hai Ban Gate we stood in yesterday morning. The same emperor, the same obsession with perfect order.
Yes. So Evie, we are now in one of many beautiful cafes here in Huế. And now it's time to talk a bit about the future or what happened with Huế since the war. You know that in 2025, Huế was elevated as a centrally administered city. That's the same tier than Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. For a city that has been politically and economically overlooked since 1945, that's enormous.
It was also named Vietnam Smart City of the Year 2025. Digital governance, smart transport, AI traffic management, the city that perfected 19th century imperial architecture, is now building the 21st century digital infrastructure.
And you know, even the young people of Huế, they are here, they stay. Huế has one of the largest cafe per citizen ratio. They didn't leave for Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. They built something here instead. Inside old buildings like that coffee, on top of old stones, next to the citadel, next to old wars. So after that war, Huế has changed a lot.
For example, this bridge was designed by Gustav Eiffel in 1899. Every night now it lights up in color. Old stone, new light. That's Huế in one image.
The emperors already gone. The dynasties already gone. The foreign armies already gone. But there is one thing they left behind, and that outlasted everything. And tomorrow we're going to find out.
The best food of Vietnam has been simmering since 3 this morning, and the recipe hasn't changed since the royal court of the Nguyen dynasty. In 2025, the Vietnamese government made Bún Bò Huế an official national cultural heritage. Episode 3, we go to the market, we find the oldest recipe, and we eat like emperor for $2. Or fermented shrimp paste. Click the video on top. We see you soon.